Hi guys, good evening and welcome to the eighth committee call of Starknet Africa. And just like we have done in other committee calls, we're going to like explore project building out of Africa. And today we're having Cindy. She's building Pacx, and Pacx is it's more like Scratch programming software. So she's building this on Starknet, and she's going to talk through what it's all about. Cindy, it's good to have you here.
Nice, so nice having me here, Paul. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, before I start, my name is Paul, and I'm the CM at Starknet Africa. So, Cindy, before we dive into the proper details, I'm sure some people want to like know your background and how you got into crypto generally.
Okay, so actually, for my background professionally, I'm a geneticist. I studied genetics in campus, and I started my development journey like around 4 years ago while I was still in campus. So just trying to figure out my stepping in life. So before getting into blockchain, I did some bit of web programming development and also cloud development. So I'm an AWS architect. I just started my blockchain journey early last year through the Polkadot event which happened in Naivasha. And yeah, I found myself staying in the blockchain space. So currently I'm almost clocking 2 years now. Yeah, 2 years strong and counting. Yes.
Hmm, interesting. Yeah, I mean, it's actually pretty good to know that you're 2 years in. I mean, I've been in since 2017, and yeah, I mean, it's been all a rough journey and all, but then we're still here. So, I'm quite curious, just like everybody else. Like, I'm quite curious, like, for those that are not familiar with Pax, can you tell us, like, and give us an overview of what Pax is all about?
Yeah, so to just the most memorable tagline I give for Pax is Scratch for smart contracts. Now, what is Scratch? Scratch is a tool which has been used by which was developed by MIT, and it has been used to teach kids and essentially people how to code. So you just have this drag and drop block puzzle block interface where you just design whichever program you want to design by fitting the puzzle blocks. Yeah, so through that way they've designed the environment where you are free to think about problem solving and building any program you want without having the local hindrances like, oh, I don't know the syntax, or rather I'm having a lot of problems with my code. So they try and reduce the stress which developers we more normally face when we are building out programs. So my team and I, we thought and we saw we don't have such a system in Web3. And since myself having had a lot of challenges trying to learn how to build on blockchain to design smart contracts, and I would need such a helping hand. So with that in mind, we decided why not build the same system but for Web3, which enables people of all age levels, uh, even kids, to just come and learn how to build smart contracts without having to feel the learning curve is too steep for them. Yeah, so that's Pax for you. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I like the fact that it's primarily targeted at kids and young people. But then, if it's designed just for like kids and young people, I mean, okay, can someone maybe like how do you also like provide it for someone that is experienced? Also, like, what kind of setup do you have to like make it familiar for someone that is who is experienced in the development environment?
Okay, so the way we've initially thought about our design for Pax is so that we can be able to suit kids more. We're trying to make it to be a bit more simpler, even the way the puzzle blocks are designed. So we'll make it to be a bit more simpler and also a bit gamified. So in the event, you have these are their avatars, their cartoons. So in the event a kid tries and does any drag and drop, they can see the gamified aspect of whatever they're trying to build. Yeah. But now when it comes to more advanced people, essentially they won't have to deal with the avatars and all. They'll just have a playground where as you drag and drop every puzzle block, you can see on the other end the code real time that you're building live. Yeah, so the more you continue building your smart contract using the puzzle blocks, on the other hand, you can see the code real time as it's being designed essentially the way you would when you sit down and write your code. Yeah, so those are some of the nitty-gritties. Also for kids right now, we even have like a researcher who's helping us do more research on how we will design curriculum specifically for kids. So we have to design use cases, user stories, essentially even some bit of games, so that kids can find it a bit more fun rather than sitting there and just seeing code, just to introduce them slowly by slowly to the concept of blockchain. And as they continue to advance, even the kind of smart contracts they interact with, they'll be a bit more advanced. Example, you can just use a simple concept like a hello world for a kid, but when it comes to grown-ups, we will have to plug in all the form of smart contracts, so that it's ERC20, ERC721. Yeah, so we're trying to accommodate everyone to learn through the platform. Yeah.
So it's actually very good that you try to accommodate everyone. Because let's say for Cairo, which is with the syntax is based on Rust, right? A lot of people maybe find it difficult to like come in and all. And also, like I myself would actually find it very, very interesting to like start learning how to code and all. Okay, so can you explain how fast like Pacx ensures that the puzzle blocks fit into logic like that isn't correct, right? I mean, like what kind of rules and syntax like are hard coded into the system?
With that, I think I would have to present a screen because I have like a higher level architecture of everything. So let me just
Okay.
share my screen quickly. Okay. Okay. So, can you see my screen?
Okay, let me pop it up. I have to. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. So this is just a bit of a higher level overview of the entire architecture and how it will look like. So essentially, on a normal basis, when you come and you drag and drop any puzzle blocks, yeah. Let's say I've just sorry. Let's say I'm just let me just try and drag in something else. Let's say I'm just trying to drag this block here, right? For you, what you see is a puzzle block, right? But what happens on the back end is, first of all, because the output of this puzzle block is in the form of a JSON, right? So the first thing we have done is we'll need to design a code generator which is able to pass this JSON into the code. So if it is JSON to Cairo, first of all, you need a code generator which will be able to take this JSON object that we have and then pass it into exactly what kind of code you're writing, right? So for here, I've just have two blocks, for example. These are just for showing you. So we have the blocks we're trying to design a hello world contract, right? I mean, sorry, program. So with the code generator, it will take this JSON object containing all the details about what I'm trying to build, and then it will pass it to the Cairo, which we have, right? And then currently, this is something we're still working on for now. So it will be a bit more abstract so that you can be able to plug in as many virtual machines as possible. But essentially, once you have this code here, we'll have already plugged in our virtual machine, which will be able to run this code and output just bring out the output of whatever you're trying to build. So the reason why we have it this way is because when it now comes to our virtual machine, and they say here where we will have plugged in our Cairo virtual machine, we will have input all the rules in regards to the syntax, and when it now comes to the smart contract, the methods which you're trying to input in your smart contract and all the interfaces. So essentially, if you come and you say you're trying to build, let's say, an ERC20 and you're using the wrong method for it, or rather you're trying to do something which you're not supposed to do, because on the back end, remember, we're passing it to the code, right? So it will refuse to compile. So it now comes to the front end with the blocks. You'll try to fit them, but they won't fit. So for the users, they will just see the puzzle blocks are refusing to fit. But on the back end, it's because based on how we've designed the entire system, the code will not run. Yeah, so this is just like a higher level overview of how it will look like. Yeah.
So basically, while you're fixing the blocks, it goes through the code generator, then to Pacx, then to the carrier virtual machine. Because I actually tried to use it myself. When I try to input what is not correct, the puzzle didn't like get to fix into what's already there. Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah. So that is because also on our end, because this is
Mm-hmm.
currently what we have in the work in progress. The one thing since we're trying to like plug in, we right now we just have two smart contracts which we're trying to like connect with the front end. So essentially, because it's still work in progress, essentially what you just do normally is you'll have like all the methods for the smart contracts, they will be listed here as we will have these custom designed our blocks. Right now, we still haven't designed it, so it's still something we're still working on. So essentially, if you just drop a puzzle block here, essentially each on the playground here, it should output as code essentially for what you're trying to do. So the more you continue to just fit in the puzzle blocks with whatever you're trying to do, the more the code builds here. But now on the front end, it looks quite easy to implement. But for us, first of all, it's been something we're still working on. How will we design the blocks to look like to suit everything with regards to the syntax on Cairo, all the things all the methods, all those things, we will still need to customize these blocks, because right now this is like the default when it comes to using the extension of the program which has been used to build a Scratch, which is Blockly. So this is the way the blocks come when you plug in that extension. Yeah. So on our end, we still need to customize all these things so that as the more you continue to build essentially what you're trying to build, the more the code builds in here, right? And then once you're done with all that, we'll just come and we will have integrated even the concept of running. So you'll still be able to run your smart contract once you're done and all. And yeah, essentially. So right now, this is the work, the demo, the small demo we have. As you can see, it's still a work in progress because there's a lot we need to consider system design wise. Example, how do we also customize this block for kids? So essentially, we have two things which are working in tandem. We still need to figure out how we will design the same things, but to be more kid friendly for kids, and also to suit people who are a bit more advanced. How do we design the blocks for them? Yeah, so this is just a quick thing of what we're supposed to do. It's still a lot of things that we still need to we're still working on right now, but yeah, essentially just that's the gist of it all. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm very curious. Let's assume that I have zero programming knowledge. Like, can I be able to understand this?
So where we'll consider it, first of all, I think is once you're coming in, first of all, you won't be just coming in and just doing this right away. We will have some sort of programs for complete beginners where the same way the way Scratch works, you come in and you have some bit of pseudocode which helps you understand what is the Starknet interface and what are these things that you're seeing here. So once you're done with that, that's why I'm saying we even have a researcher right now to help us design even a curriculum for everyone, because you can't just come in and into an interface and you're just seeing all these things and you don't know what you're doing yet. So based
Exactly,
on the
yeah.
curriculum which we are building for everyone right now, so you'll just come in and then we can also use this as to supplement the existing materials for building on Starknet. Yeah. So let's say you're also one of the base camp cohorts and you're learning how to build on smart contracts. You can still use this as a supplement to your knowledge. So it is designed to just complement the existing knowledge that we have, or rather the materials that we have right now, but we are also trying to come up with our own curriculums based on how the concept of the puzzle blocks will look like, so that everyone, even a complete beginner who's coming in, can be able to understand programming concepts first of all before diving deep into building smart contracts. Yeah, that's why we have the researcher in our team right now. Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. So basically, the next question I have for you is to show us the MVP, but then you already have like it on the screen. But we have a question on the conversation, like it's asking you to repeat the explanation of why the blocks wouldn't show. I think we are showing the architecture and all the logic behind the system.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question again? Oh, why
Yeah.
the blocks don't show here? Yeah,
Yeah.
so like I did say before, this comes back here. Like you see, we are still here at this concept of the puzzle blocks, right? So essentially, we need to integrate these puzzle blocks with the backend that we have, that is the code generator, so that once you're building this, it's coming into straight in async, it's coming async into what's it called, in our playground here, right? So that's something we're still working on, because it's quite a complex feature which we need to integrate the blocks with the code generator. So we have them in separate as separate entities. We still haven't been able to integrate them yet. That's why you were just seeing blocks here. But essentially, if you just have blocks here and it's not transmitting to code, it's not essentially, you don't have like a finished product yet. You need to integrate both. And that's something which we're still working on right now. How we will be able to pass whatever output these blocks have into the code. And that's where the code generator comes in. And yeah, so that, like I said, it's still work in progress. That's why you can see, if I just because you can also see these blocks, we still haven't customized them yet to look more into the blockchain aspect of it. This is just the default when you plug in the Blockly extension. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm curious, like, I don't know if we have another question. Okay, so there's another question here. Uh, Let me just show you the question. Can you see the question on the screen?
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so the question is also, with the blocks on your project, is it static that the blocks and the definition of them are set in stone, or can someone change the definition of the blocks? So it's asking
It
if
dep-
someone can change the
oh,
definition of the block. Yeah.
yeah, essentially, that's why I'm saying we still need to customize the blocks, because you'll still need to, let's say you want to like write variables. There's some bit of input you also want to put in, right? In any user
Mhm.
input. Essentially, just go back there. Essentially, since you see we have different types of blocks here, right? And remember, this is the default. We still need to customize them, so they won't be really static. Based on exactly what you're trying to put, you can be able to like customize them into, well, let's say you're trying to include a scenario when you want some user input. That is when you're writing like a what is it called, like just a Cairo program. Or in case you just need any sort of customized logic that you want to input, you will still need to have some sort of blocks where you can build them yourself. Yeah, but it's still work in progress, because right now we just have the default block structure which comes with Blockly. So it's still a system design thing that we are still working on our end as the team. How do we customize the blocks so that you still have the logic of what you're trying to build, but you also have the ability to customize them however you want to suit whatever program you're building, or smart contract. Yeah. So they won't be really 100% static. Yes.
So apart from, let's say, your team has, have you had like people, someone else like try out your MVP, and what's like their feedback on what you currently have?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, so I was asking, you've already shown us like the MVP. So I'm curious, like, has someone outside your team like tried it out and say like, okay, if it's a good app to build in the crypto space?
Yeah. So actually, I've been very busy trying to just roll it out to some team of the devs we currently know right now in our communities, to get them to just see and what exactly. So far the feedback has been quite positive, honestly. It's just that the one thing we need to do is finish it out and just roll it out, and then we get more devs to come and interact with it and essentially give us feedback on what we can improve on. But right now, with where we are right now, we've received very good feedback from the developers we've interacted with, and just shared it for them to just try it out. But since it's not quite as many as I could say, so that we can have like enough data to iterate with, the one thing we just want to finish right now is to get the MVP working seamlessly and then roll it out officially, and get people to come and play around with it essentially and stress test it, so we can get we can get feedback on what we can improve on. Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Okay, so my next question would be like, how do you see Pacx like evolving in the next few months, years, like especially in the context of like educating the next generation of developers in the crypto space?
Yeah, I really have. I see like Packs, it will be such a very essential tool in the ecosystem. First of all, bringing us back to the concept of how frustrating it is as a developer trying to understand even the abstract concepts of smart contract development. So the current steps we have right now is before the like essentially the year ends, we want to roll out our MVP as quick as possible, so that we can get more people to work on it and essentially get to see. We want first of all, my goal is just to see if someone is new to Starknet and they come and use the platform, have we helped them to understand how to build Cairo programs essentially, or have we made their work harder? Because now they have to understand how the platform looks like. So that's one of the the major angles I want to see on my end. But yeah, once we're finished with this, we also want to plug in other protocols as well, so that we can widen the audience, because not everyone might want to like just work on Starknet alone. Maybe someone is interested in another programming language
Yeah, pretty
based on the protocol. Yeah, so that will mean we'll have to make our program really, or rather our architecture really modular, so that we can plug in um, as many virtual machines to support the programming languages and also the syntax for the blocks for the programming language that you want to do, whether it's Solidity or Soroban for Stellar, essentially any other programming language suitable for the platform. Yeah, so that's the plan we have for Packs, to make it just chain agnostic, so that we can welcome as many developers as possible. Yeah, to come and build smart contracts and just play around with the platform. Yeah.
cool. 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 That's really cool. Okay, so is there any way like someone could contribute to Packs right now? Like through only, are you planning to add it to only docs, or is just building in-house at the moment?
Right now, since that is something we've really debated with the team, because the one thing with introducing open source right now, since we haven't still fully designed the entire architecture and made it strong and created a proper proof of concept for it, it would be a bit it would be quite hectic bringing in people to contribute while we still haven't the entire design structure stretched out. I mean, sorry, yeah, planned out and also built the POC. Because essentially, if we bring someone right now and we're still working on it, the new ideas might come and we might find ourselves at a lockhead, because you might come with your experience, and also you might come with a different point of view, and so the work might be quite slower, so we might find ourselves going slower. So currently the plan we have right now is finishing the proof of concept, making it live, and then we can now push it to only dust and get people essentially to help us even in maintenance, since it's a non-profit project. Yeah, so that's the goal. We finish, first of all, the POC and the entire architecture, and then we open it up for the public to help us in maintenance. And in case of any bugs or any point of view we didn't foresee in the beginning of the entire system, we can now work on iterate while it's live. Yeah.
Cool. 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 Okay. I'm very curious, like how do you see Packs like influencing the way smart contracts have been taught? I mean, a good example would be stack lengths. I mean, although before you could actually do some exercise on stack links, you actually need to have like solid idea on what Cairo is all about and all that. So how do you see Pacx like impacting how smart contract language like are taught and learned, especially among like younger developers and all?
Yeah, the one thing we really trying to work on right now, like I said, is designing even the curriculum and the use cases, because like you did say, if you've done Stacklings, or rather for Rust, you've done Rustlings, to be able to move further with the whole project and finish all those exercises, you need first of all to have read the Cairo book, or the Rust book, understand the syntax, and sometimes it might be a bit, and sometimes one thing I've seen on my end is, once you like finish with the exercises, you might think you've understood how to program, until you come with a problem and you're trying to design a program from scratch, and you realized you really didn't understand the whole concept of programming in general. Yeah, so that's the sort of bridge with Pacx we're trying to build, that it's not just you learning syntax and how to code, but we'll also try and help you how to problem solve. And that's why we're trying to design the entire system, where first of all you just design things, break things using the puzzle blocks, but essentially you learn how to also think in code and how to problem solve in code, essentially. So that's the type of future we're building for Pacx, where you don't just go straight into a smart contract development just like that, until you go and you have a problem, or rather you have an idea you want to implement, and you know the syntax, but you really don't know how to sit down and think of the entire steps you're going to take in building a program from scratch, right? So yeah, so that's the goal for Pacx. We're trying to encourage more problem solving, so you build something without having to think too much about the syntax, first of all. Yeah, and then once you continue progressing, at least you have learned how to problem solve in code, which is not something that you'll get with a lot of the curriculum, with a lot of the training, or rather the learning materials we have right now. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I actually get that. I get that. I see that's a tool that would be like very, very like important for people to pop into the space and learn about, of course, just like you say, not just Cairo, let's say about other like languages like over time. So we have a question here that says, and also, can you see the question on your end?
Yeah, I can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the ultimate aspiration for the scalability of the project, like I said, we want to plug in as many languages as possible, or rather as many protocols as possible, to accommodate as many people into the space as developers, without having to box ourselves into just one protocol. So the whole the whole aspiration for us as a team is to scale to other protocols as well. So in the future, once we are quite more advanced, you can just come into the platform, and then you first of all check, you just pick which programming language do you want to learn, and then we sort of set up the entire playground for you, the entire environment, and then you just start learning how to code. And also we'll have designed the curriculum for even entire beginners to just start learning. And so if you're not interested in the curriculum, just to come and just drag, drop, and just see whatever you're trying to build. It's also a very good playground just to learn, and just break things, essentially, or rather break smart contracts, so you can understand how they work, even the methods and all that. But yeah, so it on the ultimately, we want Cairo to like be, we want Pacx to be like a standalone education platform. And also we release like an SDK, so that any other developers can come and help us design use cases, or rather any other thing that we haven't left out. So that's the goal. But for now, since we're still working on it, it will rather be complementary to the existing tools for education we have right now, as we continue to design everything in progress. Yeah. Okay. Is it something that you all would consider, say, in pouring out into other aspects of programming, example, a program designing gaming or something? Well, for now, since in Web3, like the backbone of Web3 development is either you're in infra or you're designing applications, right? And even in gaming, in Web3, you still have to design some smart contracts. That's why for now we've decided to focus on smart contracts. Essentially, when we grow on, we'll still figure out if we will need to branch out of smart contracts in like the Web3 space. But for now, that's why we've gone with the design for smart contracts, because that is like the backbone of Web3 development right now, not unless you're maintaining the infrastructure, that is the protocols. Yeah, so that's why we decided to go with smart contracts for now. Yeah, but if we are able to, the one thing which is very good with Cairo is like it's like a standalone program. Yeah, I mean programming language, so it's not boxed into just smart contracts, so you can just create a Cairo program even outside of blockchain. Yeah, so that's one of the strongholds of Cairo as a programming language. But yeah, outside of it, if first of all, because we're the pilot stage, if it's very successful, how we conduct the whole concept of teaching people smart contracts, we might go outside of and look at other possible use cases. But for now, yeah, we are focused on smart contracts. Yeah. Yeah, I think that answers three of the questions. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, since you're building a tool that anyone could use to learn about programming, right? So what advice or what kind of like okay, what advice like do you have for aspiring developers that are coming into like the blockchain space?
I could say I have advice based on my personal experience, since I'm not exactly, I can't say I'm an expert or something, because you're all still learning, yeah. But the one thing, which is why I'm really passionate about this project, is that the one thing as devs, especially when you're coming in very new to the space, is we really undermine the whole importance of understanding how to problem solve in code, and how essentially how to design systems, and not just sit down and write syntax, also understanding even the foundation of programming and development for starters, and how to understand also the foundational concepts in blockchain. As you can see, there's one of also the main challenges we have in like the learning materials we have right now in blockchain development is most of the trainers will go straight into smart contract development, and they'll be like, okay, you are a complete new beginner, but you will learn how to become a smart contract developer, you'll become an expert in blockchain development, without taking you into really deep how blockchain works, right? And once you have that foundation and you understand how essentially how blockchain works in itself, even trying to design a smaller blockchain system, so you understand how the nodes work, the different type of account models we have, whether the account model or the UTXO, how even in real sense how to design like a proof of work small program in any language. Okay, I'm a bit based, maybe, so I'll say Rust, but all these things before you go deep into going to the syntax of designing smart contracts. It helps so that once you are finished with like once you go on, also you're employed first of all, and you find yourself working on a new feature or maintaining a code base, it will be very easy to apply these skills, rather than you found yourself learning the syntax and then you can get into a development team, and all of a sudden you find yourself frustrated because you don't understand, or rather you're finding it difficult to even give solutions on how you will build things, right? Because in development teams you find yourself coding in like 10%, but rather the 90% you're solving things. Yeah, so that is one of the things I could say, to not undermine the importance of learning how to problem solve in IT. Yeah.
So in summary, like you have to understand the basics of blockchain for actually like getting to diving into a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. I don't know if we have further questions from the audience. Oh, yeah. So it is actually very cool to learn about Pacx today, right? I mean, we do. Okay, so we have another question. Um, you can say it, right?
Is there any accreditation of any kind at the end to have as tangible evidence of having completed the learning process? Is it something you all are considering? Yeah. Because essentially, when people are learning, they need some sort of incentives so that you can be able to finish like programs fully. So it's still something we're thinking on how best we can incentivize people, especially young kids who are coming to learn, to make them, just to keep them, giving them enough interest to stay and learn smart contract development, even if it will become a bit difficult at some point. So yeah, it's still something we're still figuring out on our end as a team. How do we incentivize the whole program to essentially keep people coming to learn more? If when we get to a point where we are having a lot of support and all, we can even create like the pay as you learn a concept. So as you continue finishing, and then we start introducing some challenges, and then once you finish a challenge, you can essentially get something small, so just to keep the people interested and continue to learn, right? So they find it a bit interesting and they are learning something. Yeah, so it's still something because we are still in the pretty early stages. So first of all, we want to finish the entire POC, and then we'll still discussing how we can introduce the entire incentivization program, so that once you're finished, not just handing out certificates or POAPs, like just something which will be of value, that someone can be like, okay, let me just toughen it out and continue, because I know I can like get something else rather than just a certificate or something. Yeah.
So we have
Yeah.
100%.
Yes. There's actually going to be workshops. That's why, like I said, in the beginning, I did say we've also involved we've also been involving researchers so that they can help us design curriculums. So it's not just about building packs and then all of a sudden you have an interface here with blocks and you're just trying to drag and drop and you don't understand how to the entire system looks like. Yeah, we'll have like workshops also, whether it will be recorded on our end as the team, or we'll have them live. We can also start going physical once we're like very advanced and we're very stable. We can even start doing physical workshops, yeah, even if it's in schools, or we hold like a code jam for understanding how to build on Pacx. Yeah, so there will still be workshops once we like go live on how the entire Pacx system looks like, to help you navigate everything, especially once we start plugging in also other programming languages, so that you can avoid having a lot of time struggling to understand the entire architecture. You just go deep into it. But yeah, they will still be recorded, so to give you like a quick overview of how Pacx looks like. And then we can still also hold whether it is online workshops and also like physical ones. Yeah, that's something under our radar. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think we have further question, right? But today we have Kiboko Dao joining us. I don't know if they are there. Kiboko, are you there? Um, okay.
Yeah, as we wait for Kiboko, I think this would be my time to like share the socials, so that anyone who's following through can be able to like just a second. Okay. So we have like our own Twitter page, also on Farcaster, we have a channel. So you can just continue following through with what we're going on, and also our current uh, roadmap, also everything. We will just be sharing the progress we have as we continue. Yeah, so as we wait for Kiboko, let me just share. Yeah. Let me just share the yeah, so that's our socials essentially. Also our website is pax.xyz. Yeah. So anyone who's following through can essentially just follow us on the page to get to see more updates on what we're working on. Yeah.
So I don't know. Kiboko, I don't know why they're not like, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think just a sec. Yeah, I could also share this so that our current like playground, so that I don't know. Which would be the best place to like, should I just share it in the chat?
You can actually post it and it will appear on YouTube and yeah, it will appear on YouTube and Twitter,
Okay.
I guess. Mm, I'm not certain about uh,
Yeah, I can also share all the oh, hmm.
okay, so Cindy will join us. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so sorry, I accidentally left. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to actually post here. I'm having some bit of issues. Okay.
Okay, you're trying to share the links to the socials.
Yes. I'm trying to share the links, but for some reason I can't post in the chat.
Okay, so I think the best option would be is to share it on Twitter on the live stream um, post.
Okay, let me just do that. Yeah, in the meantime, if that's all the questions, I think we could basically end the call. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
In case
Pretty much.
in case anyone has any other questions, they are free to, hit me up later on. My Twitter is Cindy Kamau, CYNDIE Kamau. Yeah.
Yeah, we have one more question here actually.
Okay, let me see. Yes. Like I said, before we even roll out, we need to first of all finish the entire POC before we roll it out. So yeah, that's something we still need to do. So like I said, because we're still also trying to design the curriculum for essentially anyone who's new to programming and also like younger people. Yeah, so it's really pivotal, yes, but we will still need to first of all finish the entire design before we even roll it out. Yeah.
Yeah, just like I asked initially. Okay. So, guys, thank you for joining our eighth community call. And it's actually very, very like great to have Cindy here. She has shared about Pacx. So if you have other questions, you can check them out on Twitter, and also like you can also message out like on Telegram or on Twitter as well. And we do host this community call once every month. So if people can get to learn about project building out of Africa on Starknet and also other interesting topics because we have held topics on only those on how to contribute to open source projects and all. So yeah, so I guess this is it for uh
Yes, please. If anyone has, because we really need like a good capital injection, since we are it's very resource intensive, which we're trying to build right now. So essentially, if you want to invest right now, the first thing will just to be set up a call with the entire team, and then we go through the nitty gritties of everything. Because yeah, we are currently working on it in full time, so we really need the yeah. Bring the money, guys, so we can build this thing. Yeah. So
yeah, pretty much. I mean, I agree. Like resources are very, very important when it comes to building out like solid projects. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for joining and see you on the next one. Call. Bye.
yeah, bye. Thank you for having
Yeah,
me here, Paul.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.